My beloved child, quiet your heart for a moment and allow yourself to rest in the gentle presence that is surrounding you right now. There are seasons in life when the noise of the world becomes so loud that you can no longer hear the whisper of hope within your own soul. There are days when responsibilities seem endless, when worries crowd your thoughts from morning until night, and when the weight of yesterday follows you into tomorrow. I know those moments. I have seen every silent battle you have fought. I have watched you carry burdens you never spoke about. I have seen the tears you wiped away before anyone else could notice them. And today, I want you to understand something that can change the way you walk through every day that follows. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Before you woke this morning, I was already watching over you. Before your first breath entered your lungs, I already knew your name. Before you ever spoke your first prayer, I already understood every need that would one day live within your heart. There are times when you wonder whether your life is truly moving forward. You look at your circumstances and see delays. You look at your unanswered prayers and see silence. You look at your struggles and wonder whether anything is changing. But my child, what you call waiting is often preparation. What you call delay is often protection. What you call silence is often the sacred place where I am building something deeper inside you than you can yet understand. The world teaches you to measure progress by visible results, but I often measure progress by the transformation taking place within your spirit. A tree does not become strong because of the fruit people see. It becomes strong because of the roots nobody sees. In the same way, the deepest work I am doing in your life is not always visible to the people around you. It is happening within your heart. It is happening in the quiet moments when you choose faith instead of fear. It is happening when you continue to hope after disappointment. It is happening when you choose kindness after being hurt. It is happening when you continue praying, even though the answer has not yet arrived. Every one of those moments is building roots that will one day support blessings greater than you can currently imagine. My beloved child, there are dreams within you that you have almost given up on. There are prayers you have stopped mentioning because the waiting became too painful. There are hopes you quietly placed on a shelf because you feared another disappointment. But I want you to know that nothing offered to me in sincerity is ever forgotten. Every prayer has been heard. Every tear has been seen. Every act of faith has been remembered. You may not understand the timing, but timing is not the same as absence. Just because something has not arrived yet does not mean it is not on its way. Consider the dawn. The sun does not appear instantly. Light begins quietly. Darkness slowly retreats. The horizon changes little by little until suddenly what seemed impossible only hours before becomes reality. Many of the answers you seek are moving toward you in the same way. They are arriving gradually, often invisibly, until the appointed moment when everything becomes clear. Therefore, do not lose heart, simply because you cannot yet see the entire picture. You do not need to understand every step in order to keep walking. You only need enough light for the next step. That is why I often guide you one day at a time. If I revealed everything at once, you would depend upon certainty instead of faith. But faith is where growth happens. Faith is where strength is born. Faith is where impossible things become possible. My beloved child, I know you have become tired at times. I know there have been moments when you smiled on the outside while feeling exhausted within. You have carried expectations. You have carried disappointments. You have carried responsibilities that sometimes felt heavier than your strength could bear. Yet you continued moving forward. And even when you felt weak, I remained beside you. The world often tells you to become stronger by carrying more, but I tell you that true strength begins when you learn how to surrender what was never yours to carry alone. You were never meant to carry every burden by yourself. You were never meant to solve every problem through your own understanding. You were never meant to live every day driven by anxiety and pressure. I created you for something better than that. I created you to live in relationship with me. I created you to walk through life knowing that there is a source of peace greater than your circumstances. There is a source of wisdom greater than your confusion. There is a source of strength greater than your weakness. And when you learn to draw from that source, everything begins to change, not necessarily because your circumstances change immediately, but because your heart changes first. Peace begins to replace panic. Trust begins to replace fear. Hope begins to replace despair. Clarity begins to replace confusion. My beloved child, many people spend their entire lives searching for peace in places that cannot provide it. They search for it in achievements, possessions, approval, recognition, and success. Yet even when they obtain those things, their hearts remain restless. True peace does not come from controlling every circumstance. True peace comes from knowing that even when circumstances are beyond your control, you are still safely held within my care. There is a deep rest available to your soul that does not depend upon everything going perfectly. It is the peace that comes from trusting the one who sees what you cannot see and knows what you do not know. Imagine a child resting peacefully during a storm because they trust the strength of the one holding them. The storm still exists, but fear loses its power because trust has taken its place. That is the kind of peace I desire for you, a peace that remains even when life feels uncertain. A peace that survives difficult seasons, a peace that grows stronger with every act of trust. My beloved child, I'm inviting you into a new way of living. Not a life driven by constant urgency, but a life guided by grace. Not a life controlled by fear, but a life directed by faith. Not a life spent chasing validation, but a life rooted in identity. You do not have to prove your worth to me. You do not have to earn my love. You do not have to become perfect before you are accepted. I loved you before your successes. I loved you before your failures. I loved you before you understood who you were. My love has never depended upon your performance. Therefore, stop carrying the burden of trying to be enough through your own effort. You are already loved, you are already seen, you are already known. My beloved child, there are beautiful things growing within you right now. Patience is growing, wisdom is growing, compassion is growing, strength is growing, gratitude is growing. You may not notice these things because growth often feels slow while it is happening, but one day you will look back and realize how much has changed. You will realize that the person you are becoming is stronger, gentler, wiser, and more peaceful than the person you once were. And when that day comes, you will understand that the waiting was not wasted. The struggle was not wasted. The tears were not wasted. Every season carried purpose. Every challenge carried a lesson. Every delay carried preparation. My beloved child, do not rush ahead in anxiety and do not stand still in fear. Simply take the next step. Listen for my voice. Remain close to my presence. Allow gratitude to become part of your daily rhythm. Learn to notice the small blessings hidden within ordinary days. A kind word, a peaceful moment, a new opportunity, a lesson learned, a burden lifted, a quiet sunrise, a gentle breeze. These are reminders that grace is still flowing through your life. And as you learn to recognize grace, your heart will begin to see hope everywhere. The future will no longer appear as something frightening and uncertain. Instead, it will begin to look like a journey guided by loving hands. For I am already walking ahead of you. I am already preparing what comes next. I am already making a way where you cannot yet see one. Therefore, rest your heart today, my beloved child. Release the fears that have stolen your peace. Release the worries that have exhausted your mind. Release the burdens that have weighed down your spirit. Place them in my hands and allow yourself to breathe again. A new season is beginning, a season of deeper peace, a season of renewed hope, a season of greater clarity, a season in which your soul learns how to rest while still moving forward. And as this season unfolds, you will discover something beautiful. The answers you were searching for were not only ahead of you, they were also growing within you all along. My beloved child, there is a reason I keep calling you back to stillness. It is because so much of what I desire to place within your life cannot be received by a heart that is constantly rushing. The world has taught you to move faster, think faster, achieve faster, and worry faster. Yet the deepest things I create within a human soul grow slowly, quietly, and with great care. A mighty oak tree does not appear overnight. A river does not carve a canyon in a single day. A sunrise does not burst into the sky all at once. In the same way, the transformation taking place within you is unfolding according to a divine rhythm that cannot be rushed. There have been times when you looked at your life and wondered why certain doors remained closed while others seemed to move ahead effortlessly. You questioned your progress. You questioned your purpose. You even questioned your worth. But my child, comparison has stolen joy from many souls because it causes them to focus on another person's journey while neglecting the unique path prepared for them. I did not create you to become a copy of anyone else. I created you with a specific purpose, a unique calling and gifts that only you can carry into this world. The flowers in a garden do not compete with one another. The rose does not envy the lily. The oak tree does not compare itself to the river. Each fulfills its purpose by becoming exactly what it was created to be. In the same way, your greatest peace will not come from becoming more like someone else. It will come from becoming fully who I created you to be. There are abilities within you that have not yet fully awakened. There are strengths within you that have not yet been tested. There are blessings prepared for you that have not yet arrived because the proper season has not yet come. Do not mistake preparation for absence. Just because you cannot yet see the harvest does not mean the seed is not growing. Beneath the surface, roots are spreading. Beneath the surface, strength is developing. Beneath the surface, wisdom is being formed. One day, what feels hidden now will become visible. One day, what feels delayed now will become clear. One day, what feels uncertain now will become a testimony. My beloved child, I know there have been moments when fear whispered that nothing would ever change. Fear told you that your mistakes were too great, your opportunities too few, your dreams too distant, and your future too uncertain. But fear has never been a reliable guide. Fear only sees obstacles. Faith sees possibilities. Fear sees limitations. Faith sees purpose. Fear sees closed doors. Faith sees the hand capable of opening new ones. Therefore, stop allowing fear to narrate your future. Stop giving anxiety authority over decisions that should be guided by peace. Every day you choose faith over fear, you are strengthening a spiritual muscle that will carry you through seasons you cannot yet imagine. And every time you trust me despite uncertainty, you create room for miracles to grow within your life. I'm not asking you to ignore reality. I'm asking you to remember that reality includes my presence. Reality includes my promises. Reality includes my power. Reality includes the fact that I am capable of doing far more than your circumstances suggest. Therefore, walk forward today with confidence, not because you understand everything, but because you trust the one who... My beloved child, I also want you to understand that gratitude is one of the greatest keys to spiritual renewal. A grateful heart sees differently. It notices beauty where others see ordinary moments. It discovers hope where others only see difficulty. It recognizes grace in places that many people overlook. This does not mean pretending that problems do not exist. It means refusing to allow problems to become the only thing you see. There are blessings surrounding you right now that deserve your attention. There are moments of kindness, opportunities for growth, relationships worth appreciating, lessons worth learning, and victories worth celebrating. Yet if your eyes become fixed only on what is missing, you will miss the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude expands the soul. It creates space for joy to enter. It softens the heart. It heals bitterness. It quiets anxiety. It reminds you that even in difficult seasons, grace continues flowing. My beloved child, begin each day by noticing something beautiful. It may be the sunlight coming through a window. It may be the sound of birds greeting the morning. It may be the simple gift of another day to learn, love, and grow. These small moments are not insignificant. They are reminders that life itself is still a gift. As gratitude grows, peace grows alongside it. And as peace grows, wisdom becomes easier to recognize. You begin making decisions from clarity instead of panic. You begin responding to challenges with patience instead of impulsiveness. You begin seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. This is the quiet transformation I am creating within you. It is not always dramatic, it is not always sudden, but it is real. Day by day, thought by thought, choice by choice, I am teaching your soul a new way to live. A way rooted in trust instead of control, a way rooted in love instead of fear, a way rooted in peace instead of pressure. My beloved child, there will come a day when you look back at this season and realize it was one of the most important periods of your life. Not because everything was easy, but because this was the season when your roots grew deeper. This was the season when your heart learned how to rest. This was the season when faith became stronger than fear. This was the season when you stopped chasing worth and started living from the truth that you were already loved. When that realization settles deeply into your soul, everything changes. The future becomes less frightening. Challenges become less overwhelming. Delays become less discouraging, and life itself begins to feel lighter because you are no longer carrying it alone. You are walking with me step by step, day by day, knowing that the same love that brought you this far will continue leading you into the beautiful future that has been prepared for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, as this moment of reflection comes to a close, I want you to understand that what I have been speaking into your heart is not merely encouragement for a single day, nor is it a temporary comfort meant only for a difficult season. These words are an invitation into a new way of living, a new way of seeing yourself, a new way of walking through the world, and a new way of understanding the relationship we share. For too long, many of your thoughts have been shaped by fear, disappointment, comparison, and uncertainty. Too often you have measured your worth by what you achieved, by what others thought about you, or by how closely your life resembled the lives of those around you. But I never intended for you to carry such burdens. I never created you to spend your days chasing approval, constantly wondering whether you are enough. My beloved child, you were enough before you accomplished anything. You were loved before you proved anything. You were chosen before you understood your purpose. You were seen before anyone else noticed you, and you remain deeply loved even now. The truth is that your life has always been held within hands stronger than your fears and wiser than your understanding. Every season, every victory, every delay, every disappointment, every unexpected turn in the road has been woven into a story that is still unfolding. There were moments when you thought you were lost, but I was guiding you. There were moments when you thought you were forgotten, but I was protecting you. There were moments when you believed nothing was happening, but beneath the surface I was preparing opportunities, relationships, lessons, and blessings that would arrive at exactly the right time. My child, one of the greatest gifts I want to give you is freedom from the need to control everything. So much of your exhaustion has come from carrying responsibilities that were never yours to carry. You have worried about tomorrow while neglecting today. You have tried to solve problems before they arrived. You have spent energy fighting battles that existed only in your imagination. But I am calling you into a different rhythm. A rhythm of trust, a rhythm of peace, a rhythm where you still work faithfully, plan wisely, and move forward courageously, yet no longer feel the crushing pressure of believing that everything depends entirely upon you, because it does not. I am with you, I am before you, I am behind you, I am beside you, and I am working in ways that remain invisible to your eyes. There are doors already beginning to open. There are opportunities already moving toward you. There are answers already taking shape. Even now, while you are unable to see the complete picture, pieces are coming together. This is why I ask you to remain patient. Not because waiting is easy, but because patience protects your heart from discouragement. Patience allows faith to mature. Patience teaches the soul to trust what cannot yet be seen. My beloved child, there is also a beautiful purpose hidden within your journey that extends beyond your own life. The peace I am building within you is not only for you. The healing I am bringing into your heart is not only for you. The wisdom you are gaining is not only for you. There will be people whose lives are touched because you chose to keep believing. There will be people encouraged because they see how you overcame hardship without losing kindness. There will be people strengthened because your story reminds them that hope is still possible. Every wound that heals becomes a place from which compassion can flow. Every battle that is overcome becomes a testimony. Every lesson learned becomes light for someone else's path. This is how grace multiplies. This is how love spreads. This is how purpose grows. Therefore, do not underestimate the significance of your journey. What seems ordinary today may become extraordinary tomorrow. What seems small today may influence lives in ways you cannot currently imagine. A single act of kindness, a single word of encouragement, a single moment of patience, a single decision to trust instead of fear. These things matter more than you realize. Heaven notices them. Your soul is shaped by them, and the people around you are often impacted by them in ways you may never fully know. My beloved child, continue protecting the peace that is growing within you. Continue creating moments of stillness in your day. Continue practicing gratitude. Continue choosing gentleness over harshness, forgiveness over bitterness, faith over fear, and love over resentment. These choices may appear small, but they are building a foundation that will support everything else in your life. They are strengthening the roots of your spirit. They are creating stability that circumstances cannot easily shake. They are helping you become the person I created you to be. And as this transformation continues, you will discover that joy no longer depends entirely upon what happens around you. Joy will begin rising from within. Peace will become more natural. Wisdom will become clearer. Decisions will become lighter. Relationships will become healthier. Your heart will become less burdened and more free. This is not because life suddenly becomes perfect. It is because you have learned where your true source of strength resides. My beloved child, there will still be challenges ahead. There will still be moments requiring courage. There will still be days when faith must be chosen again. But you will not face those moments as the same person you once were. You are growing. You are healing. You are maturing. You are becoming stronger than you realize. And most importantly, you are learning how to remain connected to the source of peace that never fails. Therefore, lift your eyes toward the future with hope. Walk forward with confidence. Release the fears that have held you back. Let go of the regrets that keep pulling your attention toward the past. Trust that what is meant for you will arrive in its proper season. Trust that what needs to leave will create room for something better. Trust that every step taken in faith is moving you closer to the life prepared for you. Trust that no sincere prayer has ever been ignored. Trust that no act of love is ever wasted. Trust that no season lasts forever. Trust that light always returns after darkness. Trust that grace is still flowing through your life even when you cannot immediately recognize it. And above all, trust that you are loved more deeply than you can fully comprehend. My beloved child, let this truth settle into the deepest part of your soul. You do not walk alone. You have never walked alone. Through every valley, every mountain, every triumph, every disappointment, every question, and every answer, I have remained with you. I remain with you now, and I will remain with you in every tomorrow that follows. Therefore, rest your heart, breathe deeply, walk forward peacefully, live gratefully, love generously, trust completely. For a beautiful future is still unfolding before you, and the same hand that carried you through yesterday is already preparing everything you need for tomorrow. One day you will look back upon this season and realize that what felt like an ending was actually a beginning. What felt like waiting was actually preparation. What felt like uncertainty was actually guidance. And what felt like silence was actually the gentle voice of love leading you into a life filled with deeper peace, greater purpose, lasting joy, and an unshakable awareness that you have always been, and will always be, held securely within my everlasting love.